All right, Maria, good morning.
Good morning. All right. So, last night, Vice President Kamala Harris sat down for the first time with her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, for their first joint interview since becoming the Democratic presidential nominee and, of course, vice president nominee. Harris said her day one objective is first and foremost, highest priority is to do what we can to support and strengthen the middle class. Now, what happened when Joe Biden decided he was going to drop out of the presidential race? She gave us some insight on that, saying she was at home making breakfast for her nieces when she got the call.
My family was staying with us, including my baby nieces, and we had just had pancakes and, Auntie, can I have more bacon? Yes, I'll make you more bacon. And then we were sitting down to do a puzzle. And the phone rang, and it was Joe Biden. And he told me what he had decided to do. And I asked him, are you sure? And he said yes. And that's how I learned about it.
And what about the endorsement? Did you ask for it?
He was very clear that he was going to support me.
So when he called to tell you, he said, I'm pulling out of the race and I'm going to support you.
Well, my first thought was not about me, to be honest with you. My first thought was about him.
Man, that's why I love her.
Yeah.
I don't care what they say about me. Drag me, call me, whatever you want to call me. But I just absolutely, that whole situation just felt genuine, sincere. It just felt. How did it make you? That made you make you feel special, Kate, when you just listening to that?
I mean, like you said, she's just a regular person. I mean, she's a politician, but she sounds very normal, very regular, very,
I think the cool thing
honest.
is that we're seeing the loyalty dynamic between her and Tim Walz that she had with Biden.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of similarities there. Speaking of...
And Barack Obama and Biden.
Yeah.
Kind of remind you of.
You see that. Yeah. You wanted to feel like it's a team.
Yeah.
Governor Walz said his grammar is to blame when he was asked about a prior comment that he wants to ban guns like the ones he carried in war, even though he never saw combat during his time in the Army National Guard. Here's what he had to say.
You said that you carried weapons in war, but you have never deployed actually in a war zone. A campaign official said that you misspoke. Did you?
Well, first of all, I'm incredibly proud. I've done 24 years of wearing the uniform of this country. Equally proud of my service in a public school classroom, whether it's Congress or the governor. I speak candidly. I wear my emotions on my sleeves. And we were talking about, in this case, this was after a school shooting, the ideas of carrying these weapons of war. And my wife, the English teacher, told me my grammar is not always correct.
They were very prepared for this interview. Yeah. They were sincere, and I think that their answers were authentic. But they had their copy points together.
They're skilled politicians, and they know that every word you say in a campaign like this is going to be dissected, whether you said and versus if, or whether you said that versus there. You know what I mean? Every word is going to be dissected. And when he made that statement, he said, carry weapons that you carry in war. And he said that he carry in war. I mean, I can give him grace on that.
I like how he calmly explained himself. Yeah. Real quickly, there's been a lot of questions about action at the border. Here's what Kamala Harris had to say about that.
Joe Biden and I and our administration worked with members of the United States Congress on an immigration issue that is very significant to the American people and to our security, which is the border. And through bipartisan work, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, a bill was crafted, which we supported. And Donald Trump got word of this bill that would have contributed to securing our border. And because he believes that it would not have helped him politically, he told his folks in Congress, don't put it forward. He killed the bill.
Yeah, so, a lot of folks...
Exactly.
Yeah. And because they were saying, well, you waited 3 years to take action at the border, but Trump had a lot to do with that behind the scenes. And, people really don't know that, or a lot of them just don't want to acknowledge that. Real quickly, I thought body language was really interesting. I don't know if you all noticed that. Governor Tim Walz had his hands in his lap the whole time while Kamala Harris had her hands on the table. And I thought that was really good to show the contrast between the leadership. This is your presidential nominee, and here's the backup guy. I mean, the vice president. I'm not trying to minimize his role, but I thought that body language was really important as well. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated on this at RickeySmileyMorningShow.com. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up next.